All right, we're gonna get some unloading of the car done. We'll start with the trunk. We'll start off with stainless steel breakage. That's stainless steel hose. Gas line. That's usually what they use that stuff for. The electric motors we're gonna set to the side. Those aren't gonna go in the buggy. I got a pile started right over here though. Oh yeah. 4 disposal motors. Here's a pile started. We just gotta clip those ends off and sell them. Same with this guy. We'll let the shmoo off. We'll let the shmoo on this dry out first before we manhandle that. Yep. Breaker boxes. That's going up on the bench right now. We'll do that first thing tomorrow. Today's Thursday, obviously. Usually I put this portion in my video with the dumpster diving, but I couldn't do it today. Nope. Guess I got other things to go do. Like go pick up my Mason boy. But however, we got all these metal boxes. Appreciate y'all watching my video last night. Those of you that stayed and watched, you rock. Those of you that enjoy it, you rock even more. Wow, okay. Now we're getting down to the cheese. All the rest of this is all wires and good non-ferrous goodies. I mean, that stuff there is good. I don't know what's in it yet though. Right. Big old bag of copper, brass, batteries, ballast, wires, Arizona Hot Wheels cans. That stuff right here. Oh. Yeah. Oh, man. More boxes. This stuff. It's all those bus fuses. Heavy box right there. Yeah. Definitely got us some pop cans. For sure. A couple of hot irons and some wires. I can't wait to go pick up my Mason boy. I miss him, even though I've only been gone for one night. And the portion of this day, he's over at Xmas is waiting for me. We got these really weird ballasts that are just gonna go show whoop. Yeah. Wire on the spool. Those are good. And then we got a huge pile of wiring harness right here. Yeah, 5 minutes out here, it's like, I'm melting. Oh, this is an individual wiring harness here. Or maybe it's just cut off pieces, I don't know. But this one here is a monster wiring harness. It's all one piece. And it's heavy. I think it belongs to a semi or something. That was our scrap pickup from last night. We can probably get rid of some of these in there. A little bit of those. We'll take the panel boxes back there separately. That roller buggy, when I emptied it out, I found that the plastic's got a pretty bad tear on the bottom, worse than it usually would look. So we'll be going and looking into getting a repair for that. We can pull this bad boy back here, and we'll be scrapping that tomorrow for sure. That wiring harness is definitely going to get sold as is. And I also have some other stuff that could qualify as wiring harness, so we can add on to it a little bit. But every bit of 70 pounds of wiring harness for sure. There. Beauty. I'm gonna go get my Mason boy, alright? I miss him. And I'm gonna go get him, and we're gonna go for a bike ride, an e-bike ride, or something, whatever he wants to do really, but usually it's e-bike. He loves that e-bike, the Neoki AQ177 Pro Max to be exact. Yeah, you know, if you missed it, the link is in this description if you want to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what we did. That's how we did it. You know, scrap metal comes in here like twice a week, everybody. So sometimes it can be very difficult depending on what I get each day and what I choose to pick each day while I'm out dumpster diving per week. It really has a lot to do with how it builds up back here, pretty much. Because yeah, either way, this pile used to be about this high, if you guys remember it. It's all the way down to the very last layer. I'm almost looking at my freaking wheelbarrow again. See, that's my wheelbarrow. I forgot where that thing was until it's like, oh, there it is. It's a part of that scrap mound, you know. So yeah, tomorrow we're taking off with some small stuff. That's what we're going to start off with. We'll be clearing this pile. We're going to be doing this tote full of stuff. I have an assumption that those solid brass landscaping lights are inside here. I think it is. I don't know. After that, we're going to tackle everything in this roller buggy right here. And depending on how the heat is going of the day tomorrow, because it'll be Friday, I might stop at that roller buggy, load the car, and go do a Friday scrap run. Because I don't want to know what the old man's like during heat wave days on Saturday. No. We're gonna go get Mason boy. Everybody have an awesome, well, this part will be edited out of the video, honestly, because it's gonna be a B-roll straight into scrapping at the bench, and then a C-roll going to the scrap yard. So I'm just talking to myself basically right now. All right, see you later. See you later, Merchant Metals. Okay. Mason boy. Hi. Oh, hi. I know. Hi. Hi, yeah, you attention. Ah, Mason boy. What you doing? Huh? In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the Mason lives tonight. All right. Yeah, I was just getting ready to go dumpster diving. It's Friday and some crazy storm just started blowing through. Straight line winds or whatever. These trees are whipping so hard over here that I decided to just get out of the trailer in case any of them fell down. I got Mason in the truck, he's safe there. But that is some heavy Heavy, heavy, heavy wind right there. Wow. I ain't never seen these trees bend so hard. I just switched my camera from night to day so you can see the storm a little bit better. Yeah, it's poodoo out there, Mason, but no good. Happy 4th of July, everybody. This is Merchant Metals. We're here hanging out at the workbench for a little bit out of this portion of the day, and then I'm going to go spend another portion celebrating 4th of July. So we're going to start working on these tchotchkes, these little random goods that we have in front of us on this bench. We're going to do that right now. Yeah. Hope everybody's having a great holiday, you know. And yeah, we got this hunk of plastic right here. The only thing I want off it is that it's a chunk of brass. Phillips. Phillips. That's what I have to say about that. Okay. And we're just gonna oop. Oop. Oh. Okay, that's off of there. This is just garbage, you know. I don't remember when I picked that up, but honestly, I usually try to leave those and just take the giblets off there, because usually they come apart okay. There. You can almost twist these off by hand. Get a little chunk of brass out of that. And usually what this is there's like a little copper winding inside of this doodad. There it is. There, you're like a little dingleberry out of there, right? I'll show you what's in that dingleberry right here. You get a little bit of copper windings. Now to tear into that and get that bit of copper out of there, that's completely up to you. My experience tells me to throw something like that into electric motors over there. Okay? Alright. Conduit with some Romex. That means we have a piece of tin shred right here. Conduit bends super easy. Plastic. Got our garbage bag that's filling up right there a little bit. That's a lonely chunk of plumbing brass, but it's all brass, so yeah, okay. In that goes. We have a unit right here. I tell you what, if we get a flathead, we can probably just pop those loose. It's either that or what I would, you know, another option that I would use is I grab my grinder and I just zip those off. It's basically steel clad BX. It's not aluminum. So however you decide, you can do that, and then you can pull them out enough to clip your wire, whatever you want to do there. And inside your box, you got that wire with the wing nuts. You can pop those apart if you really are into it. I just take that, and I got a little kangaroo pouch of that stuff building up behind those cans that I don't have a bag for. That's where I throw it all. I usually just clean it out every so often and sell that wire as is instead of individually twisting each wing nut off. Nice. salvage the good machine wire and move on. Pull this stuff out. Should be able to get it out clean and clear. Oh yeah. This machine wire is suspect. I guess it's not too terribly bad. It's just a very small diameter size machine wire, although it is still a good grade. I'll throw that in my granulator. So I'll throw that stuff in the blue basket. I'm going to have to clip that ground wire on each one of those steel plates. These wires have a little ground right there, so you know, pull that free. Got some tin shred. Got one more to go. Okay. Instead of twisting those wing nuts off, I suppose you could just clip them off as well. Because I'm not saying that that's easy to untwist them, but it can get really it can get really counterproductive if you're there untwisting a bunch of wing nuts. So clipping them is another thing, you know. Or just getting rid of it entirely and throwing it into its own category and just sell it as dirty wire. Kind of the same situation I would do with wiring harness. Yeah. Because the object is to continue to move the scrap metal with a certain good amount of pace. Got this breaker panel right here. Alright. Doesn't look fun. Each individual breaker is screwed down, and there's lots of flathead screws. Probably enough flathead screws to destroy the rest of my last flathead bit on a table. That's about how many screws it has on there. So I'm going to try to cheat code down in here with the grinder and see if the bus bar is even copper. If it's not, you know, it would help me make my decision. The bus bar is copper. Okay. So one of two ways at this point, right? We can undo every single screw and hope that bit doesn't break, or we can take that hammer and smash it apart. I've done option 2 a lot. Grabbing Mr. Smashy and going at it, and that doesn't take long at all. I'd be done with it by now probably if I wasn't talking about it, but let's grab the driver and see if we can get it liberated and see how long it takes. Let's go. There's one screw. 2. 3, 4. That one almost broke the bit, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That one was hard to get for some reason. Now we can take those off. 20, 21. I don't know about that thing, but that was 21 flathead screws. I should be able to pull the breakers out. Okay, we got the breakers. get a flathead. I got a breaker's bucket down there. Or not a flathead, but a flat bar. I got one down here buried under the scrap that we're doing next, by the way. How about this hook tool? Maybe we can get in there and kind of... Oh, I gotta get a screw. I missed one. 21 or 22. Ooh, that was the one that almost broke the bit itself. Okay, so we got all the little breakers right. What? That was annoying, but the breakers are out. Now we can get at these bus bar, it looks like. Okay, so we got some bus bar out of it. Number 2 copper, basically. Feels like maybe 3/4 pound, something like that. The difference between smashing all that out with a hammer and then collecting it, right, opposed to taking the time to take this apart. Take it apart 23, I think 23 different screws to get this copper. You could have smashed it out, and then you could have actually had more copper pieces still connected to the bus bar, and then from there you could have thrown it into number 2. That's what I do. You know what I mean? Whether or not your yard considers that too dirty of a copper to do, I feel like option 1 with the hammer would have been more resourceful. Yeah, you're bashing the breakers all the HELL, and you know, and you're making a little bit more of a dirtier copper product, I guess you could say. At my yard I see stuff like that all the time going to number 2 copper, just as long as it's not incredibly crazy looking with ferrous material on the copper itself. Some of these breakers, the bus bars are worth it, but it's only worth it if you can get to them in a quicker manner, I guess you could say, faster. If you can get to it quickly. If it's too time consuming and that ½ pound or 3/4 pound of copper didn't really pay for the amount of time it took me to tear this down, you can go one way or the other. There's pros and cons to it, but in my experience, taking a flathead bit, putting it on this impact to take off 20 plus screws may not be worth your time. A bigger source of violence, like a hammer, might actually get you to process that quicker, and you might gain some extra weight and material, opposed to tearing it down properly like we kind of just did, you know. If it wasn't for me showing you my perspective right now, this would have went a complete other way. It would have been this way. You know, and as much as I like to do things my way, I would like to go about it from different perspectives. I feel like that would bring a lot of good hands-on information, I guess, one way or the other. This is tin shred, by the way. Okay, we found grinder discs, and I ran into a donut, and it's a lemon donut. Lemon donut, lemon donut. And a grinder disc. And a pop can too. Lemon donuts are my favorite. I'm pretty sure that donut was at least 3 days old. It tasted okay, except for like the last few bites. Okay, we went for it, man. But I think that's what I needed to keep moving right now, so yeah. We're gonna take our drill and we're gonna zip these plastic caps off of each one of these. Usually it's just one Phillips screw per piece. Like that. For some reason I find these ones a little bit like I enjoy doing them in groups. Because they don't take long to do it all. Yeah, I just basically opened all the covers off of those. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab my hatchet, and the hatchet's what's going to prepare it for the grinder. Right. I'm going to come over here on each one of these. I'm going to pop that plastic flywheel off like this. Now you got this copper coil that's exposed. You see this tab with the electrical connector sticking off on each side? Take your hatchet and smash those corners off of that plastic like that. Smash each corner off like that. Just bing, bang. And do that to all of them. Sorry about hitting you with that. Ogre camping fan, F11 camping fan can really take a hit. I tell you what, that camera guy's been through some stuff. That's for sure. Anyways, we're done using the hammer to prepare these for the next step. We're going to take our grinder. I'm going to demonstrate where to cut them first too, before I go full spaceman, right? Take your grinder, you see your coil, and you see where you smack those tabs off clean. I want you to cut on the opposite side of that with your grinder on an angle right here. Bury it until you get sparks coming off of it throughout the whole thing. That's what tells you that you've gone through the whole copper coil. If it's sparking all the way across. So then you're not struggling to get little bits out at the end. You can just run your grinder straight all the way through. We're going to do that right now. Show you in spaceman mode. Here's. You're going to take your needle nose pliers, right? You can weasel these around, this coil a little bit. You can push them out with the needle nose. Enough to the point to where you can grab just the copper winding on it with the whole needle nose plier. You put a freaking death grip on it with the pliers, and then take the whole unit and twist the unit around as leverage. And look, that's the whole bit of the copper that came off the motor, right? A pair of needle nose pliers about, from the base to the tip, about the length of a finger, I guess you could say. That's about the right size to pull these nicely. But yeah, that's all the stuff that came off in one attempt of trying to release the goodies. Yeah. Okay. So from that point there, I just throw this in tin shred because that's a nice chunk of steel. That's a good chunk of steel on there. And that's how I scrap. That's how I scrap these. And there's a decent little transformer inside these. Maybe not so much this one. About now a little bit smaller actually. Yeah. Those don't take long to process, do they? Like that was a quick transaction. Yeah. Motors. Boom. That sums up everything on the workbench right now, and honestly, since it is the 4th of July, I'm going to stop right here. There's one other thing I could do that's going to help us get that much closer to going to the scrapyard, I think on Monday when they open, is I got a bag sitting over here in this roller buggy, and I would like to fill that bag up with the wiring harness that we have. I'm going to get some of the things off the wiring harness. I don't quite exactly know what's going on with these, but I'm looking inside there and I don't see anything, man. I'm gonna see if these little springy coils are magnetic or not. Maybe those are some sort of special metal, but I'm doubting it. I really am doubting. I'm doubting that. This one doesn't even have any coils around it. It just looks like fuzzy cardboard circle with 2 wires. And it was a little bit harder to see in the dark. But yeah, in the light, that doesn't look like much anything. That one's even got a key on it. What the fork? I don't know. But we'll look into it and figure out what we're gonna do with it. Here's some ballasts. Stainless steel, pop cans. Just look at that. Yeah. Stainless steel. Pop can. Oh, I missed. I got one though. I got one. Number 9. Okay. Get this box out of here. That's all. That's got all the fuses and stuff. And that's where the bullshit button resides too, apparently. Shh. Oh. Extension wires, that's a different category. That goes up on the bench. Okay, we're looking like we're getting into it now. That's a good thing. Well, there's that box. At least it made it to the bench. It rained a lot the other day, earlier today. All right, looks like we can get to that wiring harness now. Yeah, it's going directly into a bag. Heck yeah. Nice, awesome bag of it though. Absolutely awesome. Beautiful. I gotta clip the cords off these motors down here. I guess I could do that while we're scrounging around, you know. There. A little wire off of it, you know. No. It's a whole big bag of goodies. Yeah. Then what's left down there is that stainless steel breakage, that hose. Sometimes that stuff, the stainless steel hose, sometimes it can be just too time consuming for the amount of value that stainless steel actually is. That's definitely a thing right there to consider. We got this whole bucket, but the roller buggy is basically empty. Besides dang stainless steel breakage, I could sell this as stainless steel breakage, and they would give me a price on it. I might just do that, actually. I don't know. I'm gonna set it over here in the sell pile, just because. Yeah. I'm gonna go empty this bucket of tin shred and carry on with the rest of my day. Launch this baby. This is called the virus. Blow up the virus. This is pretty good right here. Alright, let's light her off. This is the last dumpster firework that I found from last year. We're lighting it right now. This is the virus. Mason, come on. Mason, get over here. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, the ones I bought, they're like splitting in two and going sideways and coming down on our house.
No.
Alright, well, we did two of those and we're done with those. Should probably launch it sideways. And then the other one.
3, 2, 1, hit it. It fell apart.
Yep.
It fell apart.
Yep.
I did the cool guy drink and everything, even had the hat backwards, and it fell
Oh,
apart.
you went and got it. Bummer, dude, I guess. That's what happens when you try and let it cool now.
Here, you want to light a couple of Roman candles, man?
What's that?
You want to light a couple of these off?
Yeah, sure.
They don't go too high up in the air.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Nice, let's take one.
Yeah, you want one?
You want to hold one? Just hold it and point it, son. Just not at you.
Just not at each other.
Yeah, not unless you're like enemies or something. We're not.
Wait, I get my phone out.
Here, you can have one too, man.
No.
Hey, you're fine.
There's a moth. Ah, I got some in my eye.
Chill. He gets excited.
Oh, it literally says Roman candle. That's how you know it's the real deal. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Hey, appreciate it. Hey, quit your barking. He's louder than the Roman candle.
He likes them. He's like, do more. Give me one.
All right, you guys have a good night, man.
You
Yep. Yep, nice meeting you too. It's dirty. We gotta clean that up. Now everybody watch and look closely. This is the only wire I have to clean up out here, okay? Mason don't even care. He wants me to catch a fish. But yeah, here it is. Alright, that's clean light wire. There's a plug in right there. And we're not getting into this bullet fuse. I'm not gonna make a mess here with that. I already know what's inside these. And it's a mess. But these bullet fuses, sometimes what I would do if I were to process them, I would take my cable cutters and just cut there and then just scrap the caps off of it, basically. But yeah, you need a whole lot of those to get some weight in copper or brass, whatever that is. Copper or brass on there. That's definitely brass ends on there. Yeah, they're just tarnished. It almost looks like copper, but then no. Okay, maybe a red brass. Yep. Oh no, my cheap ass Walmart fishing pole's falling apart. Hang on. There we go. Oh, don't go in the weeds over there. Come on, man. Set my drag a bit more. Ooh. Now that's a nice bluegill. Holy smokes. Dude, this bluegill is probably a record of some sort. I'm actually quite happy with this. Look at the size of this thing, dude. It's 3 inches past my wrist. That is a monster bluegill. Look at the size of the mouth on that one. You can almost hold it like a bass. I wish I had a scale. I would weigh this thing, man. That's a big boy. Put him back. He's cool. All right, guy. Get out of there. Yeah, that was a nice catch. That was the best catch of the night. That's got a little bit more kick to it. Oh, it's a nice bluegill. That's a really nice bluegill. That's bigger than the last one I just showed you guys. Holy smokes. What a freaking monster. Oh no, he's trying to flop away. I gotta show you all this bluegill. Look at that, dude. That's a big boy. Wow. You get almost a fish dinner just off that one. Good morning, everybody. This is Merchant Metals. On a beautiful Monday morning, we are going to dive into some scrap metal right away. Everything on this bench as usual. And we're going to go through as much as we can here today, because I'm still on that mission of getting this backyard cleaned up. And I still have some capacity that I could fill into the truck. I think that'd be a good game plan. And that would help me reduce a lot back here. So that's what we got going on. What's in this box right here, right? Ooh, we got some pop cans in there, man. A few other things, it looks like. We're gonna dump it. Pop cans. We got pipe bender attachment. Looks like it's busted. Tin shred. Got those pop cans. I hit this dollar store and they were throwing out a bunch of these power steering fluid bottles. They were all full. This one's leaking a little bit actually, but nonetheless, there were so many of them that I couldn't really reach and they were a pain in the butt to get to, but I managed to get a couple of them. So yeah, my car leaks a little bit of power steering fluid every now and then, so I can treat it with the good stuff. That's what I'm thinking. Got some cat wire right there, a little bit of brass right there. Okay. Yeah. That almost snuck in with the cat wire. Don't want to do that. This I'm just gonna tin shred it, honestly. My yard won't count that as a ballast. They might count that as aluminum breakage though. Meh. Sure. Throw it in as breakage. 5 rolls of brand new electrical tape. That's cool. It's nice to run into new stuff like that. It's like a little aluminum clasp of some sort or whatever the case. I don't know what it goes to, but it goes in there now. Yeah. We got a bunch of these bolt fuses coming up here. We're gonna find out if they're worth it or not, or if I should just throw them, in my copper breakage bucket. Ballast. I put that blue basket right here for ballasts, motors, and transformers and stuff, so we don't have to change that one out as much. Oy. Let's see what we got going on with these. I'm assuming it's all going to be brass ends if we proceed with processing them. I don't know how they're going to come apart, but if the shears lop off these caps easily, I mean, we'll see. See what happens anyway. Let me get a bunch of sand in there on each end, it looks like. And then on the inside of this fuse, we're gonna get, looks like nothing in there, honestly. I'm gonna crunch it right here just to look in it. So there's like a little spring, looks like a little tiny piece of copper, and then a little silver winding. I don't know. That might be like a little silver glaze, or it's just solder. I might not salvage these little pieces. I don't know. I don't think I want to. It's got like a little brass thing on the inside, and I don't know. Let me pull that out. I don't think I want to get those out, man. Be quite honest with you. But just for educational purposes, I guess. Let's try to pull out a piece of that metal that's in there. And really, it's just looking like a piece of brass. Okay, and then there's this thing. It's a very malleable, silver looking metal. I honestly am thinking that that's probably not silver, but I could be totally wrong. But it is solid. It's got a good mush to it. Kind of like it's lead. See that? And it doesn't weigh, I mean, it's got a decent little weight to it, but like, what else could this be other than pure silver? Yeah. We'll see. But let's start crunching them anyways. Do 3 at once? No. I don't know, man. I think what I'm gonna do, because my personal opinion is telling me that it's not adding up, I'm gonna put these big ones to the side. We're gonna take these ones and throw them into copper breakage for now. That'll be something that we'll come back to, because doing these right now is not helping me clear the yard, and it's not adding up all that great in brass. But I have this set to the side, and I would like to know if this is going to be silver or not. I'm doubting it is, though. If it is, that's crazy. But to me, it doesn't feel like it's dense enough, right? Okay, so let's just process these big ones. That takes a star bit. This thing's a monster. They all take star bits. Sounds like my battery's gonna die. They got all the screws though. I had to switch my battery out here soon. Okay, we got all those screws off the big one. There it goes. That's what we'll do next time. Put a couple of cuts through it. There ain't nothing in that. No. But what's connecting these just looks like more copper. I don't see anything that looks like it's silver at all on this fuse. So what I'm seeing is we'll just be scrapping it as copper. Yeah. There is a little brass piece on here I'm trying to get off. It should let me have it. Or not. Okay, I'll just cut you. There. That's a piece of brass. We'll do the same for all the pieces. That's good weight. Okay, this has a tin looking coating over top of the copper. That's probably silver, yeah. Maybe. We'll look into it. Use the drill until it dies anyway. So what is that? What is this even? The coil thing is definitely non-magnetic. Same with that. I'm curious. That sparked. So what is this? It's like non-magnetic and very springy. I don't know. It's very bendy too. It pulls apart and it stays. It's malleable. Let's cut it and see if it does anything like spark wise, I guess. And we'll go from there. It might just be like stainless or something. We'll see if it sparks. That was a really weird spark it threw off. It did spark a little bit. It sparked very little, let's say. I don't know, guys. I'm very curious about this one. It can't be stainless. It bends so easily. It's got the weight of stainless, but it puts off a very light spark. If I had my phone on me, I would like Google picture it, but since it's a non-ferrous goodie, and it's the only non-ferrous goodies in these boxes, I don't know. They're weird. Kind of fun to play with. I'm gonna set them to the side because I don't know what it is, but the rest of this is just tin shred. There was nothing special in there from what I can see. Smack one of those open, maybe. It's just tin shred in the middle of those. It's just tin shred. We indeed have pop cans. Yeah. We got copper and brass in here too. And aluminum gutter angle. No more though. Tin Romex, some tin shred, it's a piece of Bear Bright, that's aluminum wire, yeah, number 1 copper, tin shred, MLC, number 2 copper, number 1 copper, number 1 copper, MLC, hee. More MLC. Got that pop can in that copper breakage. Number 2, number 2, number 1. We have a used K-cup. That's trash. Got that aluminum wire and some, what's this, thermostat wire. I usually go comm wire on that stuff. With the ends cut off. Yeah. Number 1 on that there. This is going to be cast aluminum. Smack that off with a hammer or something. Faucet. More thermostat wire. Machine wire. Right there. Good handful. Bear Bright. Machine wires. Extension cord. That's going to go in our light wire bag. Chunk of bus bar caught in some plastic. Throw it there for now. This can be machine wire over there. Number 1. Yeah, aluminum. Plug end. Here's some machine wires. MLC. Except that's got wire in it. So that goes in our BX basket. Someone bunched that one up all messed up. That's okay though. We got room for it right there. That's empty. MLC. tin shred, ballast, what's this? That's like a light wire. Piece of brass. I think this is brass. It is not. Is it magnetic? Nope. Is the top part brass? Oy! They just basically cast aluminum on that. Number 2 copper. Light wire. BX. Tin shred. I don't know what these are, little clips or something. Probably do light fixtures, maybe. Brass. Right. Battery. I don't get many batteries. So when I do, I toss them on the ground right there. And they'll see. Wire. Machine wire. There too. And there. Yeah. Got that faucet. Romex. Plumbing stuff. Cat wire. Com wire. Aluminum. Same for that. Got some brass, some copper. That's number 2, number 1. Yellow brass. This is stainless steel. There's bare bright. Stainless steel's over here. Yeah. And that's gonna be com wire. Yeah. And the pop can. That's got a brass trunk. We'll cut that off later. We'll deal with that. Number 2. And a battery with a couple of wires. Okay, that's brass. There's number 1. That's brass. There's number 2 copper. And that's just garbage. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And got some aluminum wire right here. Beautiful. Pop this open. And we can use a hatchet on that bad boy. Without making too big of a mess, I want to find out what's going on in here. Ah! Looks like nothing. There's nothing in there, dude. This thing's junk. It's tin shred now. Tankless water heater had nothing but plastic inside. And we can also fart around with these boxes here. These boxes are going to have all the same stuff in it that those small ones did. What it looks like anyway. Electric motor that can go in that pile. Healthy saw. Probably don't work. That's my guess. Same for this angle grinder. Scrap it all as is. Got some pool stuff. These are some really weird scraps in this bag, or in this barrel here, but we should be able to move them along easy. That's 6061 clean right there. Oh boy, what a nice mass quantity of goodies. Some wires over there, throw those over there. Get some of these pop cans, and it's in their respective bucket. Wow, that's a good pile of junk. For sure. Battery, cast aluminum. Yeah. Now whatever's in this. That's about it for that. Whew. Got a full basket of pop cans. Yeah. Oy. Number 1 coppers. Got a flashlight, probably garbage. Throw it right into number 9. Just the tiniest little motor for blowing. That's aluminum sheet if I've ever seen any. Aluminum wire. Got us a knife. Tin shred that knife. Motor. Machine wire. Cast aluminum. Some yellow brass. These are key tumblers for doors. Mainly brass on them. Lighter. Plug end. Some extension cord. Yeah. What the? This thing's probably all jacked up. I got a working Dremel the other week. Worked fine, so I don't mind getting rid of that. Throw it in as a motor. Probably. Plug-ins, battery. A paper shredder. Huh. I wonder if it works. And how good it works if it does work. It probably doesn't work, is my guess. You gotta press down on this thing, I think. It worked for a second. That was it. That's all we got out of it. What a heck of a unit. It went. That was it. So that's our tin shred now. Got a light wire off of it. Oof. Oof. Transformer. breaker, battery, aluminum breakage, aluminum breakage, light wire. That's fine. The emergency LED driver. You open this, you'll find an electronic ballast and a battery. So we're just gonna and this there, machine wire, thin shred, but there's a piece of cast aluminum connector right there you can twist off this bad boy. Cast aluminum. Yeah. Blu-ray player, tin shred. Battery charger, that's basically just junk. The Ryobi ones don't have transformers in it. I mean, some do probably, but not that one. You know, if you're kind of overwhelmed on scrap metal like I am, this program right here is going to help you get out of it quicker, so you can clean up your space, whatever the case. I'm just along with the same exact journey you guys are watching, man. Like, really, this is a learning experience for me too. I've never ever been backed up this hard on scrap metal before, ever. And well, that's one thing I feel is important, is to kind of maybe show and explain why and how I'm going to keep myself from being consumed by massive piles of scrap. This is all brass right here. And that. But organization is key when it comes to your sorting area. Having an easy place to throw everything within an arm's reach is very valuable. That is very valuable. If you got enough baskets and a bench kind of like this to set up, I highly recommend you try it. That's just a board right there. Plastic. Because it's helped me a lot. It's helped me sort out lots of non-ferrous. For sure. But we're gonna get the next batch of scrap metal up here on this bench, and we'll do that right now. And then on our break, we're going to take this tin shred out and put that saw away. Yeah, it's a nice saw. I keep that. This basket's done, which is awesome. That's all empty. Let's come back here and grab some of this stuff. Why don't we? This has got some water in it. I usually pitch my workbench this way, so if there's water and stuff, it all drains away from where you're working. Here's a fan. I don't want it. Break down a couple of stainless steel sinks. There's some bigger items, everybody. Here's a weird random pile of smutsel. And another big box, whatever that is. That's what we're going to start on first when we come back.